Welcome back to THE Network. Today I'm joined by Mollie Thorsen, and we're going to be doing a special edition talent spotlight regarding human trafficking. Mollie, welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Thank you. I really wanted to talk to you about something that our agency is extremely passionate about, and I have recently found out you are too, and that is human trafficking. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved and what you've been doing recently to battle the fight against human trafficking?
Yes. Well, first I want to take this moment to thank you guys, because THE has been instrumental in their support and their understanding and just total involvement in everything we've been doing. But I got involved in human trafficking, battling it, I guess a couple of years ago. I was going to participate in an annual walk that's held in DC every year called the Walk for Freedom. And I was supposed to walk with my sister, and we were both signed up to walk. And she unfortunately went to the hospital and passed away about 2 weeks after. So this year I called A21 and I said, listen, I would love to hold the Walk for Freedom in her honor this year. And they let me, which was incredible.
It was amazing. I have to say, like, your sister Becca was incredible, and we all loved her. And when I heard that this was also a passion of hers, it even meant more. It was like, the more people that know about this, the better equipped we are to put an end to something so horrific. So tell us a little bit about A21.
Yes, so A21 is an amazing organization. They're global. They have offices all across the world. They were based in Australia. Christine Kane, the founder, is from Australia. And they have offices here in California and North Carolina. They hold this walk, the Walk for Freedom, all across the world, and there are about 300 cities that participate in the Walk for Freedom. They pick a host for each city, and that person gets the honor to host the Walk for Freedom. So that's my participation in the A21 organization. I was able to host the walk, and I'm so glad I did.
I am so proud of Mollie, because she raised over $52,000 in our city, which was twice as much as LA. So LA, you got to step it up. But so yes. Interestingly enough, when I really didn't know much about human trafficking, and I was contacted by the founder of Innocence at Risk, Deborah Sigmund, and she said, Lynda, you absolutely have to know what's going on in your industry, because your industry is full of predators. And I was like, what? You know, I was really I was shocked by it, but I had lunch with her. She started inviting me to their events. And once you've been exposed to that, there's no turning back. So Innocence at Risk is something that we have put on when models are submitting to our agency. We have something called Beware and Be Aware that we send out to every person who submits their applications to become a model. Whether we accept them or not, we feel that it's really important to make everyone aware that there are, predators in the industry, not just modeling, but also acting, everywhere. Yeah. So can you expand on that?
Well, that's such an important step to take, and I hope that every agency will follow in your footsteps, because just that awareness and introducing the up and coming talent to that issue is instrumental and could change the life of someone. That could stop human trafficking from happening. Unfortunately, the modeling industry is plagued by this, and it is a huge issue within the modeling industry, as it is globally.
But I also think that something that has become a tool for the predators is all the social media. So it's a double-edged sword because everybody wants to do social media. We need to do it to market ourselves, and people are paid also based on the amount of followers that they receive, etc. But at the same time, that's also where the predators are creeping in.
Yes.
So you have to be so careful. So what would you advise a model who is, trying to promote themselves on social media, but also how they can,
It's definitely a double-edged sword. And really the only way to battle that is to have a really incredible agency, much like I do with TAG. You cannot trust a computer. You can't talk to someone behind a computer and think that you are going to have a validated contract. That's not how it goes. So it's just really important for people to have an agency and to go through the agency, and to just be careful and just be aware. I think that's the most important part, is just know what you're putting out there can get into the hands of someone who unfortunately might not have the best interest in mind.
I'm in complete agreement with you, Mollie, but there's not a week that goes by that I don't encounter a model that has tested from a photographer they met on Instagram or, some form of social media. And so far, everything has been okay, but it's that one thing that can occur that's life-changing. And I would say that I believe that happens because most people think that agencies are there to just facilitate the jobs as the middleman. But we're there for everything. We want the models. We want you to call us and say, how do I go about, testing with this photographer I met on Instagram? In that case, call us. I mean, we'll do a background check. We'll have them come into the agency. We'll make sure that they're legitimate. I think that that's, part of the battle, and the buddy system. Yes. I always say to everyone, please, you can't go on a go-see off location from the agency that's safe unless you have your mom, your dad, your friend, somebody, not that if the agency has approved it and we know they're a legitimate client, that's one thing, but to just run off to meet somebody at a hotel or a restaurant, I don't feel it's safe.
Yeah. Yes, it's really important for agencies like the Artist Agency to add that extra layer of protection for the model. Human trafficking is devised off of false advertising, and models get lured into this. Did I say that?
Did you hear that? Lured into it. False advertising.
So it's really important to have the agency, and we're so grateful that you guys actually keep an awareness about this, because a lot of agencies don't. And so thank you so much.
I want you to talk to us about your association or your experience with Miss World.
Yeah, so America's Miss World was super important for me because it was just another platform to be able to talk about human trafficking. That was my main goal when applying to America's Miss World, and gratefully, I'm so grateful for it. I made the top 15, which I then got to spread my video, my Beauty with a Purpose, with so many people. It was really incredible to see the other contestants kind of learn about my cause and begin to rally behind mine, which is natural, because it's such a big deal. Yeah, and a lot of times when you're doing pageants and going with organizations like America's Miss World, you're going in there with other people who are equally passionate about their causes. That's their main line, is Beauty with a Purpose. So to be able to connect with these other women and to be able to see how they walked away from America's Miss World being more passionate about the walk for freedom and about battling human trafficking, that was really moving. And many of them donated, and many of them, many of them called me the day of and said, "Go girl, we're cheering you on." So at the end of the day, that was the most spectacular part about America's Miss World, was just showcasing my passion for battling human trafficking and spreading the word.
I know that the agency was so honored to take our team and meet you down on Constitution and 18th Street and do the A21 walk. It was incredible.
Yes, and we are so grateful. The Artist Agency, by the way, your team raised over $1,000, which is spectacular.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Oh my
for
God,
your
thank
contribution.
you.
That was then doubled because we had matching donors, so really 2,000.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
that. That's such great news. So as I had mentioned earlier, we tag Innocence at Risk in our Beware and Be Aware, and I was shocked to know that there is an actual organization that just covers the state of Virginia. Can you expand on that?
Yes. So there's so many organizations battling human trafficking, and they all kind of work together. We were fortunate enough to have NOVA HTI, which is the Human Trafficking Initiative for Northern Virginia, speak at the Walk for Freedom. And I think that really impacted everyone there because they understood the locality and how this is a local problem. There were 92 human rescues in Northern Virginia alone this year so far, just by the NOVA HTI. Virginia is the top 15 states for human trafficking. Yeah.
You know, can you expand on why Northern Virginia, or Virginia in particular, has a need for its own organization? I mean, 92 people in 1 year?
Yes. I mean, the location is massive. There's so many. We have 95, we have 81, we have 66. Transportation of victims is a huge key into the whole process of human trafficking. So unfortunately, Virginia has so many connections road-wise that it just makes it a central hub for human trafficking, and therefore makes it even more important for us to be a part of battling it. Northern Virginia has 3 out of the top 5 cities in Virginia for human trafficking. And our economy, Washington, D.C. is a very, very successful city. So when you have easy access and then you have easy money all together, it really creates a problem. So that's why it's really important to make sure that our local people know about it and that our local officials are battling it as well.
So Mollie, what can the people who are watching today, what can they do to get involved?
Yes, there are so many ways to get involved. It really depends on the resources that you have and that you want to use. A basic one that everyone pretty much has is social media.
Okay.
Spreading the word is really important. The more people who know about it, the easier it is to battle human trafficking. So just using your social media for a good cause, spreading a word. Another way that you can help is using your time. It's really great to get involved in the community, and there are always needs for volunteers, whether it's at rescue centers or just helping passing out flyers or joining the Walk for Freedom. A21 is actually starting an office in DC, so we have a whole opportunity for volunteers to get involved. If you don't have the time, you can use your resources with your funds. There's always a need for funding. So you can donate at A21 and you can help contribute to spreading the word through their marketing campaigns.
Excellent. Well, we are so grateful to have you here today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you do to make the world a better place, spreading her love and light. Thank you for joining us today. This is a cause that is near and dear to our heart. Mollie, how can people become a THE Insider?
Well, Lynda, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Artist Agency and follow The Artist Agency on social media. There will be posts every week, so make sure you tune in.